cut the prices of insulin by up to about 70%. And this is huge news. This is Dr. Otin coming to you with the very important news there about diabetes treatment. The CEO of Eli Lilly, who is a maker of lots of diabetic products, in particular of insulin, has announced that they have decided as a company to cut the prices of insulin. So the non-branded insulin was, for a vial, was costing $82.4. And now that price is going to become $25. When you come to the Humulin and Humulog, those were selling for about $274. And now the cash price, I'm saying $274 per vial, now is going to become $66 per vial if you are buying out of pocket. That is huge. Now, if you have insurance, any kind of private insurance at all, then you don't pay the $66. The top you would pay will be $35 per month for your insulin product that comes from Eli Lilly, and I'm pretty sure the other companies are going to follow suit. Doing this with some participating pharmacists, the details aren't there, but it's across the board. It's going to happen to everybody because they cannot discriminate against people who use certain kinds of pharmacy. It's going to be across the board for the most part. Why is this important? Because even now in the US, apart from the millions who are afflicted by type 2 diabetes, there is yet people who are on the way to becoming diabetic, the group we called pre-diabetic or pre-diabetes, and it's about 38 million Americans. Most of these people are eventually going to end up being diabetic. And so this is something that is going to really help a lot of people if and when they need insulin for their diabetes control. Why is this happening and why now? So let's go to some of the reasons why this is happening. So the first one is that since the Biden administration has already, through the Inflation Reduction Act, has made it mandatory for seniors to pay no more than $35 per month for their insulin products, those who use Medicare Part D. And so the company, Eli Lilly, said that we might as well make it across the board for every patient who is diabetic. And as a matter of fact, the Inflation Reduction Act had sought to cause all insulin products to be capped at $35, but the Republican Party declined to allow that to go into effect for all people. We can now say that some companies morally have seen the need to make insulin prices lower, or at least go with a cap for $35 for this. The other reason is that about 22 states already in the U.S. have caps in place, from about $25 cap to $100 cap. And so doing this makes more sense. Why don't you do it across the board? The other reason is that there are biosimilars, or what we call generics. Now, when it comes to insulin, you cannot completely say it's a generic. We call it a biosimilar. FDA has begun to approve new insulin products that are almost equivalent, or if I should say equivalent, to the already existing insulin products. And because of that, prices have started falling somewhat, albeit not so much. Prices are going to eventually fall, though not as precipitous as we may see to bring a price down to $35. This makes more sense that if you're a company that is making insulin, you actually, begin to look good in the population by bringing your prices down. The other reason that I also think many people have started buying insulin products or insulins from, abroad. Insulin is cheaper in Canada. Right across the border from the US, you can buy insulin cheap. And this is the same drug. It's not like it's different there. For whatever reason, in the US, they charge us a huge sum of money for insulin. Because, of course, I'm pretty sure it's corporate greed and the checks and balances are not there. Information age, you can't hide anything. Everybody knows that we pay exorbitant amount. And so it makes sense that people, these companies have begun to see that it is morally unethical to do that. And so I believe for the long haul that insulin prices are going to continue to fall. But the good news is a major company like Eli Lilly stepping up to the plate and making this announcement. I'm looking forward to the other companies coming out with similar announcements and eventually insulin becoming more affordable. Many people depend on insulin, and the people who cannot afford insulin are having to ration the little that they have, which leads to poor control of their type 2 diabetes and, of course, of type 1 diabetes too, and leading to more morbidity and mortality. If you have insurance and your pharmacy is charging you more than $35 in the fourth quarter, in the beginning, it will be just for the biosimilars, for the generic equivalents. But by the end of the year, you must check it if your pharmacy charges you more than $35 for a month. The cool thing is that it's going to lead to a rippling effect in the entire industry. And I'm pretty sure that others are going to come out with similar announcements, and we will have better patient outcomes. If you are diabetic, or somebody that's diabetic, you can put a smile on your face because the most expensive portion of your care is now getting taken care of. And if you don't have insurance, with $66 per vial, if you are lucky to have a coupon out there like GoodRx or any kind of coupon, that can also save you more on your cost of insulin. Just want to say that if you like this news, share it, especially if you know somebody who is in the health sector or who is a diabetic, who may be complaining about using their insulin, buying insulin. Let them know this good news is out there, and look out for it as soon as possible. In fact, the discounts, some of them from the products from Eli Lilly, some of them take effect from today. The others are going to follow suit, especially at the end of the fourth quarter. By the end of the fourth quarter, nobody should be paying more than $35 per month with a private insurance if you use insulin product that is made by Eli Lilly. Hit the like button, click the subscribe, and until we see you again, say, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers.